Coincidence that happen, follow the dots. Coincidence makes sense only with you. You don't have to speak. I feel emotional landscapes. They pass on me. The little cat's lives, and you push me up to this state of emergency. How beautiful to be state of emergency is where I want to be.
Well, I'm sitting at a hotel room at the MGM Grand, and I am livid. Right now is the calm after the storm. I was storming before because, as a normal, functional human being, I have no idea how to process what has happened in Paris, emotionally or psychologically. Intellectually, I do have a grasp on how we should process this, because there's only 4 words that come to mind when you hear a story like this, and it boggles my mind that somebody could see this story and stray away in any way from the following 4 words. And those 4 words are these: fuck Islam and fuck Muslims. Now, this is the typical part where people want to sidetrack, and I'm not going to let them, because they're not here. And I'm talking to an audience of intelligent people that do not belong to the "are you saying all?" And I call them the not all brigade. Not all? Surely when you said fuck Muslims, you didn't mean all. So for the gazillionth time, let's review, and this time let's show it visually. So here is the spectrum of fuck Muslims. First of all, fuck Islam means nothing. That is a nothing statement. That's like saying, oh, well, yeah, there's a Bronze Age set of beliefs that I disagree with. That's the problem. A book and some ideas that aren't going to harm a fly unless a person, known as a Muslim, puts value into those ideas and then acts upon them. So fuck Islam is a cop-out. It's a cop-out. Obviously fuck Islam. Fuck death cults. Fuck worshipping pedophiles. Obviously, god damn it, we don't need to waste our breath with that. Fuck Muslims is far more relevant. Fuck the Muslims in France. Fuck the Muslims in Syria. Fuck them in Germany. Fuck them everywhere they are. Ask the Indians. Ask the Israelis. Ask the Swedish. They'll be happy to tell you. Ask my boy Billy in Brooklyn, who was breathing in debris smoke from 9/11, which happened blocks away from where he was at the time. Now let's, for a split second, just address the not all brigade. Obviously not all, and obviously it's on a spectrum. And by the way, the spectrum starts with fuck you, and it ends with fuck you. Even more. Fuck you, you evil piece of shit, you should be dead. That's the spectrum. Okay, on the top of the spectrum, you have Majid Nawaz, who you agree with on 98% of things in this world. When it comes to secularism, when it comes to ethics and values. Now, the man believes in a pedophile warlord. He values that man. He says, peace be upon him, every time he utters his name. He is part of a death cult. Now, he's trying to redefine that. He's trying to reinterpret it in a retarded and pointless, fruitless, fucking laughable attempt. Yes, and even if he did, which he won't, he's still moronic for believing in Allah, starters, and 2, following the Quran in any way. That is disgustingly reprehensible, and there is no excuse in the world that would justify believing in that book. He's at the top. Who else do we got? We got the kebab man. The man that sells you the kebabs has a warm smile, and he's got a glowing, beautiful daughter, and he's a family man, and he enjoys sports. Great guy. Yeah, he's mildly homophobic, mildly Jew-hating. He's on the spectrum, okay? We understand he's not ISIS. Then you got ISIS. They're down at this end. You got Al-Qaeda. You got all these other groups. Al-Shabaab, Al-Nusra, the Palestinians, those fucking rock throwers. You got Lalo Dagash. No, he's not on there. He's reformed. He's a moderate. You've got these people, and really the word fuck does not encompass everything that needs to be said. I feel powerless. And do you know how many F-bombs have been dropped today? I was listening to Boris doing a Skype call. He dropped, no joke, 100 F-bombs.
Eat shit and die.
Boris was like, fuck this and fuck that, and this is bullshit, and this is a shitstorm. It was unbelievable.
You are breaking my balls.
I felt like I was watching In Bruges.
He swears a lot, doesn't he?
Because what are we supposed to say? We're supposed to just make sounds now? Just clench our teeth? I want blood. I want to kill these motherfuckers. I don't want trials. I don't want some drawn-out process. I want one to survive. Oh yeah, I do. I'm like the wildlings when it comes to that. I want somebody to survive so we can plug them for info. Now that sounded sexual. Maybe, waterboard? Oh, it's time. Oh, yes it is. You must torture that fuck. Because when you are a mass murderer, and you have information that will lead to the network of people responsible for this, oh, in the large context, it is a Muslim group. It is jihadism. Oh, we know that. We're just talking about the particulars in this case. Not in the thousands of other cases this year, 99% of which are Muslims. 99%. Hey, but guess what? Raw Story just came out with a new stat. If you start the clock today, after this Paris attack, yada, 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 garbage. So yes, there is no word that you can say that's going to embody how angry you should feel right now. This is an absolute outrage. There is nothing comparable to this in the history, the modern history. And this is so not unique for the Muslims. They do this all of the fucking time. So the Not All Brigade can kiss my butthole.
Not all.
You guys are time-wasting sons of bitches. You are the people that are supposed to understand this. This is not difficult. Put it this way, there's no way I'm going to invite some Muslim into a hangout and try to talk him off the ledge of his colossally backward and evil ideology. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to say, hey, Johnny Muhammad, get on here. Let's weigh the evidence of the validity of the Quran and the existence of Allah. No, that is a supreme waste of my time. No, but the people we should go after and can go after are the Westerners, the people who live and work among us, who are college educated and who have the audacity to call themselves A, liberals, B, progressives. And they are the ones who shamelessly muddy the waters and do not call Islam out for what it is. The cat is out of the bag. Most people in the West, in America at least, had no idea what Muslims were. Before 9/11, people wouldn't even know what the hell you're talking about if you said Muslims. They were non-relevant to us, for better or for worse. But not anymore. Now we know all about them. So I want to show you what the Young Turks did. Just for starters, I'm going to address their first video. Now, they got on there. It had only been a few hours since the attack, but plenty of information was already out. They knew it was a massive terror attack. They knew it was Muslims. They knew that the people shooting were yelling Allahu Akbar. Now, for starters, their video title just says terrorists. Terrorists attack. Terrorists kill 60 in France. That's their title. Now, I helped them out here. I hope I don't have to point out to you how effing absurd it is to keep the identity of those terrorists anonymous, to not say that they were Muslim terrorists, which informs everything about this story. It is the most relevant word they could have put in that video, and they didn't. In fact, a video that was just titled Muslims would have been more informative, because at least it had the honesty to call out who did this and why. It's not just the identity, it's the reason why. So they basically left out the who and the why. They could have solved that with one word, Muslims. Muslim terrorists. Instead, they used the anonymous, generic term terrorists. Other outlets have used gunmen. Now, that might seem small, that little language trick, that little move they do. It's not. It tells you what's happening inside of them. At their core, they are not confronting the issue. David Cameron does this. Obama does this. You bet your German ass that Angela Merkel does this. So just clear your mind. Pull up a chair or sit cross-legged on a cushion.
We are gonna need a bigger cushion.
Take a deep breath in. I want you to imagine what the Young Turks could say to this. Whatever you just imagined, it's infinitely worse than that. John, the regressive dipshit John, starts off the news story and he babbles through the basics that they just Googled. Okay? He sets the stage. He passes it off to Cenk. I'm going to play this for you now. Start cringing right now.
So, I don't know the answer. Well, first of all, we don't know who the culprits are yet. Right?
We don't know.
Oh God. Cenk. Wow. Cenk, what a buffoonishly, monstrously stupid thing that is to say. Blatantly obvious, Cenk, that it's Muslims. You know this. Everybody knows this. And he comes on here saying, well, we don't know the culprits. Are you saying we don't know their specific names? Or are you really being that willfully dense? Obtuse. Everything about you is obtuse. Look at the obtuse angles. Oh yes, we shouldn't jump to conclusions when 70% of the criminals in French jails are Muslim. Ask any Frenchman what the big problems of France are. They're going to talk to you about Muslims. And that's not xenophobia, and that's not racism, and it's not Islamophobia. It's common sense reality. It's sanity. It's healthy. It's the truth. But the name of the game of the Young Turks, the Young Nazis, is not to address the truth. It's to run from the truth, to spin the truth, to mount the truth, and to grab it by its horns and steer it in another direction. What direction, you ask? Well, there's a few directions. Look at the progressive agenda. Number one, you have fuck white people are racist. How? How can we get this story of Muslims killing French people for no effing reason? How can we bring that back to fuck white people are racist? You would think that that is a laughable, absurd, insidiously moronic statement to make. And yet, watch what Cenk does. Watch.
Of course, who it is makes a big difference as to how you react, I think. But, you know, what have we been doing? We want to get tough. America, after 9/11, got tough and opened up a Pandora's box, and that created ISIS, which probably...
Oh my God. Oh God, I am bracing myself against the wall. I am in shock. I'm in shock right now. Did he just say America created ISIS? Is that what's on his mind? Is that what's rattling around that skull of his? For the record, and just in case everybody isn't fully aware of this, America did not create ISIS. And why the hell have you just leapt away from the massacre that just happened in Paris and started talking about America's involvement with ISIS? America's foreign policy? You cannot be serious. I feel like John McEnroe. You cannot be serious.
It was the wrong side.
The ball, chalk came up all over.
No, it was a bit of a spread, Mr. McEnroe. That was a good call.
Excuse me?
That was a bit of a spread.
Look, you can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line. Chalk flew up.
Now, Cenk, I'll serve your ass like John McEnroe.
I'll serve your ass like John McEnroe.
If your bitch steps up, I'm smacking the hoe.
If your girl steps up, I'm smacking the hoe.
Word to your moms, I came to drop bombs, not on Iraq, not on Syria. I've got more rhymes than the Bible's got psalms. And just like the prodigal son, I've returned.
Word to your moms, I came to drop bombs. I got more rhymes than the Bible's got psalms. And just like the prodigal son, I've returned.
Anyone step into me, you'll get burned. 'Cause I got lyrics, and you ain't got none. So if you come to battle, bring a shotgun.
Anyone stepping on me, you'll get burned. 'Cause I got lyrics, but you ain't got none. If you come to battle, bring a shotgun. But if you do,
Oh, okay. So please continue, Cenk, and I can't wait to see where you deflect this to.